Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by, but if you are a returner, it is always nice to have you back. This video, I am doing a recap of March 2023. Yes, it is another video in that series that I said I wanted to do, where at the end of each month, I'll talk about the important highlights and just what it is that happened. That way, when I look back at the end of the year, I have essentially an abridged version of 2023. So let's get into it, starting first off with AKA, we are in full swing for regional conference season. And I am not the international second vice president anymore. That means I don't have to go to all 10. That means I do not have to get up and deliver the state of the undergraduates. I don't have to get up and deliver the speech for the undergraduate luncheon. I don't have to stand and take pictures during the undergraduate luncheon with the winners. Let me be very clear. I loved doing that. It was the highlight of being international second vice president, being able to have all of those responsibilities and duties and just interaction time with the members as the international second vice president. But I also want to say it is really nice just being able to be a member, to just not be in those high positions of responsibility and like constant onness for 4 days, 10 weekends in a row, essentially. So I had a great time this regional conference season. I also did a really good job of posting, like literally the day after. I would make sure that I was doing like 10 minutes of video editing here, 10 minutes of speaking in front of the camera here, and making sure that every single one of those videos came out one day after when they happened. I felt very good. But also at the end of doing that because the regional conferences I went to were Great Lakes Regional Conference, my region, I am in Alpha Omega chapter in the Great Lakes region, and the notable North Atlantic Regional Conference, which is where I was initiated. So I just went to those two. At the end of it, I was like, woo! I would not have been able to do that 10 more times in a row, but also at the time, I was also sitting there like, how did I do this? How did I do this in 2022? How did I make it work with all those videos that I made for each and every one of those days of regional conferences that I went to? So I was like very surprised that, hey, I did it. I did it in 2022. There's an entire playlist where I like showed it can be done. But I felt very good on my timing this year and not delaying things. So I got to go to the Great Lakes Regional Conference, the North Atlantic Regional Conference. I was just going there as, well, for the Great Lakes one, I am actively a part of the region. I am actively a graduate member in Alpha Omega chapter. And I was able to just sit out in the crowd. The last time I sat out in the crowd would have been in my first regional conference in 2019, because my regional conference in 2019 was when I just had freshly been initiated, and my second regional conference I instantly went up to like dais seating because I was the conference vice secretary. So I haven't sat out in the crowd since 2019, and now I'm sitting in the crowd on the first row as opposed to the 20th row of section 20, and I am up in the front. I have my reserved seating. I'm just having a good time, and also cheering on my mom because my mom is the international nominating committee representative for the Great Lakes region. So she's sitting up on the dais and I'm like, go mom, that's my mom. And it was good. I'm also able to be there and support the person who took my position, Elise Guerrier, and the new undergraduate members at large, Imani Butts and Michaela Chanel Brown, in continuing the legacy of greatness that is the undergraduate members of our board of directors. And when it comes to the North Atlantic Regional Conference, I purely went as a guest of Madam Regional Director, number 6. That's my girl. Obviously, she is also Madam Regional Director, so she is that before she is number. But to me, because we both came into the sorority as number 6 of Lambda Upsilon chapter, we have a very special bond. And I just had a great time at both of them. So all of those videos for those 2 regional conferences, you can go watch them. They're in the Everything AKA playlist. And the other AKA event that I went to was the Alpha Beta Beta Omega Founders Day event, where my mom was speaking as their guest speaker. And Alpha Beta Beta Omega, 4-letter chapter. This is a very new chapter, so to have my mom come and speak to them in her position as the INC rep, they were very grateful to have her there. And they did a great job. They did an amazing program, and my mom being there speaking, they also gave her a very nice gift, a beautiful jewelry set that might go missing when I go to medical school. But we had an amazing time, and it wasn't just myself and my mom as things usually go. My younger sister was also there because she was off for spring break. That's why she was there. And then we also had members from Alpha Omega chapter that drove with us to Akron to support. So there were 12 Alpha Omega members there, including my younger sister. And one of the other Alpha Omega members also brought her daughter, who was also home from spring break. So we had a good delegation of non-Alpha Beta Beta Omega members there to support my mom, and she did a great job. You can go watch that video as well. I'll put it in the description. The next important thing that happened in the month of March was going to the Cleveland Fan Expo. I am a nerd. You all might not know this, but I am a major nerd, especially when it comes to my comic books, my TV shows, my anime. I love it. I also really enjoy going to Comic-Con. And when it comes to Comic-Con, like you all know, there was that one event that I went to for AKA, I believe it was Cluster for Great Lakes region. We go to Cluster, we see that not Fan Expo, they call it something different, but essentially Comic-Con was also happening in the same convention. I look at my mom and I'm like, when this ends, we are going to Comic-Con. My mom doesn't know anything about Comic-Con. She doesn't care about Comic-Con, but I do. We went to Comic-Con and had a great time. Like, that is how much I love Comic-Con. So, Fan Expo Cleveland happened, and I have some gifts. I have some things that I got myself. I also have something that I got from my dad for Father's Day. I obviously can't show you all here because he watches my videos, but just know that the gift that I got my dad, I will, once Father's Day passes, I'll show you all what he got. So I got my dad a Father's Day gift. He's going to love it. And I mean, yes, my dad did also go with us to Comic-Con. It was myself, my dad, and one of my friends from work, and it was just beautiful. There was so much art, which I did end up buying, but I love being able to walk through and see all of the different styles of art because no one does it the same way. You have people who work with watercolors, people who work with digital art, people who work with metallics, people who work with clay, people who do earrings, people who do just a little bit of everything. And then one of the most interesting things when we were in there is we saw this booth that was essentially selling DVD copies of old Cartoon Network, old Nickelodeon TV shows. So they had Ed, Ed and Eddie, all of the seasons plus the movie in DVD format. They've got Cow and Chicken. They've got Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. And me and my friend from work, we're just looking at like, wow, you remember this show? You remember this show? I remember this show. This was a great movie, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, that's something that's a great idea, especially for nerds, because I mean, if you have the very specific thing that like had a foundational awakening in us as a kid of like who we are and who we want to be. Like for me, that's Avatar The Last Airbender. But also Avatar The Last Airbender is on Netflix. I can easily go and get that. So if you have that, for some nerd out there, they'll be like, yes, here's $25. Yes, here's $40 for all 6 seasons of Samurai Jack, or whatever it may be. And I was just having such like a nostalgia moment of like, I loved this show, I loved this show, I loved this show. But y'all, the best thing, the most important thing that happened is they had voice actors there. You might not care anything about voice actors. You're like, okay, like they say the words and the animator has the character opening and closing their mouth. The voice actor just speaks. No, the voice actors, they be putting their whole foot in it. And they are amazing. The amount of voice actors that they had at this, beautiful. I made some poor financial decisions, but that's okay. So we ended up having Dante Bosco, Prince Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender, and you all know how much Avatar The Last Airbender means to me, because I just told you all that was like a very foundational part of my childhood and discovering who I am and who do I want to be. So he was there just, you know, speaking, and at least when it comes to Dante Bosco, he just has one of those amazing, beautiful voices where it's just like, ooh, I like that voice. And he's talking to me and my friend. He's like, oh, you two make such a cute couple. We didn't tell him that we're not a couple, but Dante Bosco, Zuko, told me that I'm cute, essentially. He essentially told me I'm cute. Woo! Okay, that's something I never thought that I would experience. Dante Bosco also knows that I'm going to medical school. Prince Zuko knows that I'm going to medical school. And just being able to hear him, see him, thank him for lending his voice to such a important character in my childhood, the character with the best redemption arc in all of like animation history, at least in my opinion. We had Anna Clark, Josh Grell, Ian Sinclair, and Tara Strong. Now, when it comes to Tara Strong, I really feel like I missed the mark by not getting something signed from her, because Tara Strong just has too many people for me to choose from when it comes to her voice and who she has lent it to. But my most favorite would probably have to be Raven. Raven from the original Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. Do I watch Teen Titans Go? No. It's just not giving what it's supposed to give for me. But the Teen Titans Raven, she was doing everything. The Azarath, the Metreon, Santos. That, oh my God. And then she said it in person for us. It was like, oh my God, she did the thing. So that was just very exciting for me. I wish that I had gotten something from her, but like, you're sitting there like, why do they have voice actors? The voice actor sits there and essentially just gets showered with praise of you have an amazing voice, but also they do get money out of it. So you can buy something, maybe a Funko Pop, maybe a piece of artwork that has their character on it. You can ask them to record a voice message in like doing the voice of Raven of Jasmine can't come to the phone right now, leave your message at the beep, but obviously in the voice of your favorite character. They also take pictures with you. They sign stuff. I made a poor financial decision, but that's okay, because that poor financial decision makes me so happy. So for me, the person that I was super excited to see was Justin Cook. Justin Cook voices my favorite character in My Hero Academia. And that is Eijiro Kirishima. Now, I have to go get one more thing, but now we're gonna get into like the gifts and the things that I bought. Okay, so you all remember at that last Comic-Con, I said that I was looking for a plushie of Kirishima. I didn't find one then, but I got one now. Look at him, look at him. The only thing is that I wish that he was smiling and that you could see his shark teeth, because that is a very important part of his character. even though it has nothing to do with his quirk when he's fighting villains. He just has shark teeth to have shark teeth. So I just wish that he had the shark teeth because that's an important part of the character design. So I got this. I did not have Justin Cook sign this. What I did have him sign though was this. A Funko Pop of Eijiro Kirishima in unbreakable form. So it says, Jasmine, Jasmine, stay heroic, stay manly, stay unbreakable. If you are not a fan of My Hero Academia, that's not going to mean anything to you. But if you are a fan of My Hero Academia, woo, this means a lot. I have the voice actor of my favorite character, my favorite hero, the first hero in Class 1A to have his hero debut, telling me, stay heroic, stay manly, stay unbreakable. I'm going to take this with me to medical school. It's going to get me through some tough times. This is Justin Cook's signature. And then on the side, he signed it as Red Riot because that is Eijiro Kirishima's hero name, Red Riot. Woo! Okay, so the Funko Pop itself was $15, but the signature and the photo, because I did end up taking a photo with him, that was like $85. Poor financial decision, but it's okay, because that is gonna live with me forever, because this is my favorite character. Like, I still get really excited and jittery when I think about it, when I look at it like, bruh. Like, just think about how you would feel if you met your favorite actor in real life. Like, what? Like, you got to meet them, you got to have them signed a piece of merch for the character that they play, and you got to take a picture with them. Woo! Okay, so I got that. And then the two other things that I ended up getting were some postcards that I'm also going to take with me to medical school because I feel like these have very important messages to them. This is a new day, a new beginning, and it has Ahsoka, best girl, and also the fact that she is getting her own series coming up. Like, bruh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. With Anakin and Vader on her sides. Ooh, that's good. I cannot remember who I got this from. I can't remember which artist I got this from, but I'll try to figure that out and put that in the comments because she did, and I do remember it was a she. She ended up signing the back for me. We like that. And then I also have Storm. Love Storm. I would cosplay as Storm or Ahsoka or Raven. Like, those are the three people that I would love to cosplay one day. But we've got Storm, and it says, do not let their fear control you. We are the future. Ooh, that's good. That is good. Ooh, okay. So both of these just have very uplifting, empowering messages on them with very uplifting, empowering women on them. And like, because I made some poor financial decisions that day, but I am happy with them. So, I mean, that's all that matters. I had a very good time at Fan Expo Cleveland. Now moving on to medical school, which Zuko knows I'm going to medical school. When it comes to medical school, this was the end of my, like, answers. I got all my acceptances, I got all my wait lists, I got all my rejections, and my last one ended up being with Tufts. They came back to me, they were like, we want an interview. I did the interview with them in March, and I also got my acceptance in March. I did not have to wait long at all to get my answer because it's the end of the season, but the turnaround was quick. So I got accepted into Tufts Medical School. Ooh, that felt very good. And now that I have the list, I really need to sit down and look and start comparing all of my schools. There will be a later video talking about the schools I got into, the ones I got wasted. That video is going to come out later, but I am in a position now where the decision is going to have to be made very soon. by May 1st. And I obviously want to have the decision made before then, but things are happening and it just feels good. It feels good to know that I am at the end of the process because I started this process by taking my MCAT January 20th of 2022. That was a year and 3 months ago. I have been on this journey of applying to medical school for a year and 3 months, constantly in a state of work, finish this, write this, and then having to interview, and then wait. Busy, wait. Now they're waiting on me to make my decision. And it's like, ooh, okay, now I hold a little bit of the power. Because this entire year and 3 months, I've just been waiting for the schools to pick me. Now that I have a list of schools, plural, that have picked me, I am in the position where now I need to pick one of them. It's like being on The Bachelor, kind of. I don't watch The Bachelor, but I feel like that is the right analogy to make right now. Moving on to another thing that is adjacent to medical school is all of the ophthalmology related things that I am doing. So I registered to go to ARVO. ARVO is the Association of Research in Vision and Ophthalmology. It is the annual meeting that happens at least this year, it is happening in New Orleans, Louisiana. So I did my registration for that. I got my Airbnb for that. I'm gonna have a nice time there. Obviously, I will be there for the ophthalmology convention, but I'm not going to pass up on being in New Orleans. I'm gonna get some beignets. I'm going to eat some gumbo. I'm going to eat some jambalaya. I will fully experience all of the culinary gifts that New Orleans has to offer. And I do really want to enjoy being at the convention, but also it's New Orleans. I am going to explore the city, especially since it's not an AKA event where I am confined to the convention center. I am going to go out and be free, but I also need to see because I do have very real responsibilities. I'm going to be at ARVO presenting a poster of the research that I have been working on. And that is something that I will have to be at for literally 2 to 3 hours, just standing, talking, answering questions. So that is something that obviously will need to happen, but just making sure that I have a balance of ARVO, New Orleans, ARVO, New Orleans. And there will be people from the Retina Associates of Cleveland that will be there. So we're gonna have a group dinner. That'll be fun. I'm definitely going to that. There's also some AKAs in New Orleans that I'm going to meet up with, so it'll be good. I also applied for the Rab Venable program, and that is something, it is essentially a mentorship and supporting program that they have for minorities in ophthalmology. So I submitted the research that I have done, and if I get it, I will find out later this month if I ended up getting that program acceptance. But if I get it, then that means that I will be invited to the official SNMA, if I get accepted to Rab Venable, that means that I will be I will have my registration paid for, and I will be invited to present my research in either a poster or a presentation form at the NMA, the National Medical Association. That happens in July, also in New Orleans, I think. So it is a possibility that I might be going to another medical convention. We'll see. So I applied for that. Dr. Coney is the one that led me in that direction because he also was a recipient of the Rab Venable program back when it was literally first getting started. So I am very much looking forward, and I hope that we have a positive outcome. If we don't, that's okay. These things happen. I can always apply again later. And the other thing being the last category I want to talk about, my YouTube channel. So I already talked about it a little bit, but in the month of March, I was doing great. I was pumping out those videos for the regional conferences, and people were watching my video, technically not this month, but people were watching it a lot this month in March, the video about what to pack for regional conference, since literally every week a new group of 1,000 members are trying to say, what do I pack for regional conference? And I also had my first month where I made over $100 in YouTube. So that was exciting. I've never been able to have such good interaction and good watch time and views in a month to get $100, more than $100 in a month. So I feel very good, very proud of myself, pat myself on the back. And yeah, March 2023 was a great month, and woo, definitely the most important things being medical school, first and foremost, and second most is Fan Expo, because woo, the nerd in me was just fangirling. So it was a very good month, very good indeed. And that is everything that I have for this monthly recap video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.